All right, so we're checking out this problem here with the revenues and liabilities for this toy store. I've broken it up into, I've labeled the months. I've broken it up into the money coming in each month and the money going out each month. And then the carryover, which is basically the difference between the money coming in and the money coming out. It's very important that the carryover is greater than zero, greater than or equal to zero each month. In other words, the money in minus the money out has to be greater than or equal to zero. That's another way of describing what they said in the hint, where the amount in has to be greater than or equal to the amount out. I said it as amount in minus amount out has to be greater than or equal to zero. Same thing. So we have our revenue each month, that's money coming in. We have the 6-month loan, that's also money coming in, but it only comes in July, so I just went ahead and made the rest of the months zero. You're not taking out a 6-month loan in any of these other months, only in July. Monthly loans, that could be money coming in any of these 6 months. So I've left those all blanked, but basically like these blank cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 7th will be our changing variable cells. So now money out, each month we have liabilities to pay. So 60,000, 60,000, 80,000, and so on and so forth. I think that's right. Yeah. So let me make sure that's right. For some reason, I thought it was like 40,000. No, that's right. Okay, we're good. And then payback for monthly loans with interest. So they mentioned that you don't pay back July's monthly loan in July. You pay back the monthly loan you took out in July in August. And then you pay August's monthly loan back with interest in September, and so on and so forth. So the payback for the monthly loan with interest in July is going to be zero. You're not paying back a monthly loan for June and July, like you're not doing that. But these months will be, these can be what you're paying back each month, and this will be considered money out for each of these months. So like money you took out in July will have to be paid back in August. And so that'll be considered money coming out in August. And so I went ahead and incorporated the interest each time. So like this cell for the money out, the payback in August is going to be 1.05 times the monthly loan, because you have to pay back the whole loan plus 5%. So 1 plus 0.05. And so I went ahead and dragged this across. So like each of these, this is this monthly loan times 1.05 and so on and so forth. Okay, all the way through. So now the payback for the 6-month loan, these are all going to be zeros all the way across. I've just went ahead and typed in zeros. These, again, will change once we do the solver. But this amount is solely dependent. So like when we pay back the 6-month loan with interest in January, it's solely going to be based on 1 and 11% of the 6-month loan we took out in July. Okay, so then again, the carryover is a result of, so the carryover into August is a result of the money that came in July minus the money we sent out, the money out in July. And so this formula gets dragged all the way through. So money in minus money out, money in minus money out, and so on. I probably could have done it a little more concise, like sum of these minus sum of these, but I was piecing it all together as I went, so didn't think it through. So then this is our carryover. One more important thing, the carryover in January versus the payback for the 6-month loan. We had to make sure that whatever money was carried over into January, whatever money was left, we had enough carryover to then pay back the loan with 11% interest. So I did this little formula here, just the carryover minus the payback for the 6-month loan. Payback left after paying, money left after paying back loan. We have to make sure that this value is greater than or equal to zero, so that this amount is greater than or equal to this amount, so we have enough money to pay back this loan. So now what's the cost of borrowing? Cost of borrowing just comes from the payback for the monthly loans plus the payback for the 6-month loan, because I've incorporated the interest into these calculations. So hopefully this is fine. So now data solver, we are minimizing the cost of borrowing. That's B13. We are minimizing changing variable cells. Again, that's B4. So that's the 6-month loan amount. And then we put a comma, and then we highlight all B5 through G5. That's the monthly loan amounts. Make sure this is all right. Yeah, this should be valid, because then we're minimizing that, and that incorporates the interest. Okay, so now B6 through G6, that's the carryovers. Again, all of these carryovers have to be greater than or equal to 0. That's another way of saying the money coming in has to be greater than or equal to the money going out. And then I also set H11 greater than or equal to 0. In other words, that was what we were talking about here. The carryover into January, the money that we finally have after the end of it, has to be greater than or equal to the 6-month loan with interest that we have to now pay back. So just make sure you have enough money to pay that back. So we set it greater than or equal to 0. Again, because this H11 was calculating the difference. So carryover minus interest. Or carryover minus the loan with interest that we're paying back. So then we hit solve, hit OK. This is the best I got. So it turns out we're taking out a 6-month loan for $40,000, and then eventually have to pay it back for $444,000. And then we take some monthly loans out for these amounts. We probably simplify. I don't know if they want like full dollar amounts here, maybe just dumb it down to 2 decimal places. I don't know, but this is the best I got. So the cost of borrowing is going to be $217,000, but we'll still have some money left over even after we borrow all that and pay all that back. So I hope this is right. Now, to be clear, I have incorporated the interest into the cost of borrowing. So like, I'm curious if we took out the interest in this amount, if we would get a smaller amount, like we'd get the true amount that we borrowed. Because now that I think about it, this is the cost of borrowing with the interest. Maybe they want the cost of borrowing without interest, but I'm hoping this is right. I don't know. This is the best shot I got. Hope this makes some sense. Hope this helps. All right.